Here I am. I had to get a little day drinking beer too. Yeah.
Nice. Welcome to Predator Minute, the podcast that breaks down the 1987 action sci-fi horror suspense classic Predator 1 minute at a time. I'm John Zabriskie.
And I'm Jeff Glover.
And we are talking minute 27 of Predator today. I believe minute 27 puts us right at the quarter mark in terms of progress for the movie.
Very good. And we are in kind of the middle of a milestone here, because when this attack on the guerrilla camp ends, that kind of marks the end of the first act of the film, right?
Yeah, it totally does. And I was looking ahead to future minutes, and I would say it's debatable where the first act ends. In my eyes, originally, I thought, the first act ends when Billy is laughing at Hawkins' joke after they've made plans to go up the valley to the new extraction point. But I could also see someone arguing that, the end of the first act is when Dutch picks up Dylan and starts yelling at him in his face about the whole thing being a setup and that the six of them were dropped in the meat grinder.
Yeah.
Kind of like when the action stops.
Right. It's when this action stops, and then we'll start to see in future minutes, the confrontation with the Predator really ramps up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like you've said in the past, there's a kind of a genre shift there after this, what's clearly an action movie so far.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we got lots of more carnage. We got lots more deaths. We got some more explosions. We got guys fighting through the air. We've got all kinds of stunt men. One in particular that continues to show up.
Right, the unkillable guerrilla. Yeah, this is. So I'll give the synopsis real quick. This is minute 27. The Fred McGriff of minutes.
Freddie McGriff to lead off. And he launches one to deep right field. She's gone to tie it.
Minute 27 opens with Hawkins and Ponchito running down the stairs under heavy gunfire, and it ends with Billy laying down some fire in a large palapa.
Very large palapa.
Very large palapa. There's a lot of action that happens here, and my question right away is this palapa the same one Ponchito and Hawkins are running down the stairs at the end of last minute, beginning of this minute?
It's hard to tell. You know, one of the things we talked about last minute was how quick-paced and frenetic this sequence is, and it's really hard to keep the geography straight. Mm-hmm. On top of that, they're reusing shots, they're reusing stuntmen. And so I don't know if I can. I would guess yes, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm just thinking for the set design, yes. I'm thinking they're reusing it, but for some reason in my head, I'm thinking they're trying to call these two different palapas, but the layouts look just really similar. It's super hard to tell whether or not they're just dressing up with some sugar bags when Billy is firing at the end of this minute. And
we know they're not afraid of reusing things.
They're not afraid of reusing things. Yeah, we're going to, I guess, dive right into that if you want to start us off on the action, what we see.
Yeah, so carrying over from last minute, we've got...
That's how we begin every summary, I noticed, by the way. It's carried over from the last minute. I think that started like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody. It just all carries over. But a lot of these minutes are ending right in the middle of like a shot,
Yeah, literally.
And
gunshots.
And so this one, when you start this minute, we've got, who's that? Hawkins and Ponchito running down the stairs. We got a quick shot to the behind a couple guerrillas that are firing at Hawkins and Ponchito. And then they find a little spot behind some sandbags or sugar bags, and then they take him out. And what do they do here, John?
They take him out with one of Ponchito's custom-made for the movie grenade launchers or grenade-launched grenades. So who knows what the caliber or makeup of this thing is supposed to be. And it blows these guys off, out of their perch and into the water. And for my money, I think this is, one of the top 2 or 3 stunts of the whole movie, because it's slow motion. You see the guys after the explosion. Well, they're clearly launched from an explosion all in one shot, and they start at the top of the frame, and the camera follows them all the way down into the water, and they crash down into the water.
Oh, it is. I was just going to agree. It is a great shot and a great stunt. And these guys they're jumping out from an explosion. They're on fire.
One guy loses his gun and one guy keeps his gun the whole way down.
Yeah, hangs onto it. And they don't land on their backs, on like a mattress covered in leaves like some of the other guys from previous shots. These guys, they go head first into this water. And these
I think... The guy
these are actual guys, right?
Yeah, these are actual guys. One is a very, very notable stuntman we'll talk about here in a minute. And he is the one holding on to his gun the whole time on fire. And then as the one guy kind of does more of a dive, the other guy, our noted stuntman, we'll just call him, I don't know, Red Baron for right now. Red Baron.
Yes.
Due to his flying around explosions this minute. He lands kind of on the back of his neck and on his back. And like, he even see like a little bit of a snappage as he hits the water.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He comes right down on the kaplam.
Yeah.
That could not feel good. That must really have torn that red ascot off of his neck.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like a good nickname for him, and I was like, he has red, so maybe like the Red Gorilla, like Red Man, like the rapper.
I like Red Baron because he's got some kind of like beady eyes too.
Red Baron.
Like every time they cut to him, he's squinting with that red ascot on. We'll talk more about him coming up because he's going to show up several times in the next few minutes.
Yes, and well, in this minute alone, we're running the count. I count that he's killed at least 3 times. Basically, if you see him firing a weapon in this minute, you know he's about to be blown from that perch one way or the other. And this is just the first of 3 of those things. And then later on, I think towards the end of the minute, we see another gorilla who's wearing, I think, the same red ascot, but who's a different person.
It's a strange choice. I mean, was there a sale on ascots at the local jungle men's warehouse?
Yeah.
I guess they're just bandanas around their necks, but the way they have it tucked in and kind of poofed up, it does look like an ascot.
Right. And we'll see an up close of this guy later, but he's not Central American by any means. Just kind of looks like a dressed up white dude.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, did you have more to add about this stunt in this pool or lake here?
Oh yeah, good call. So the stunt itself, just telling you right away, this is Craig Baxley reminding you that he's a prolific stunt coordinator and stuntman himself, putting on this stunt show spectacular, as it were. So this is just one of his hallmarks of people flying through the air. You see this all the time in A-Team. He directed quite a few episodes of A-Team, did the stunts for that show, and all the time there's a car just flying very close to the camera, and from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen, you see the bottom of the car flying in slow motion. Mm-hmm. Probably with Henry Kinsey driving, let's be honest, the Moonbeam.
Right.
Stunt drove the exploding truck into the campers.
Yeah.
But also the water that they land in, this is a water feature still there today. This spot is a tourist spot. The gorilla camp eventually became, well, not in the movie, but in real life, the set of the gorilla camp became a destination called El Eden, or El Aden, which is south and east of Puerto Vallarta, along the Mislamoya River. Now, I'm thinking it's Mislamoya River. There's also a place on the beach where they did the filming for the beginning of the movie called the Boca de Tomatlan, which I took to mean the mouth of the river Tomatlan. But anyway.
So they embrace the fact that this was used in the movie, and they use it as a little tourist attraction?
Yes. There's, I don't know if the restaurant's still open, but at one point when I was looking at the restaurant menu, I could see different things were named after things in the movie, like Dutch pancakes or Billy Burrito or
Blain jar of spit juice.
Right, and you can use, the machete to cut your food.
Yeah. One thing I like about going back to this explosion, because I'm watching it over and over again, I really like how when they fly off the roof, you can see the pyrotechnics coming out behind them. Like it looks like there's some actual fireworks.
Yes.
Flaming down, and sparks.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, the Red Baron's pants look to be on fire when he first exits his perch there.
The crotch is the most on fire part.
Yeah, that is. There's just so many things going on with the explosions and the falling.
Could not wait to get to the pond.
Oh man, but yeah. So if you go now to this place, there's a little rope swing tied there, and you can jump off the rope swing into that very same pond. Along with the rope swing, they also have the burned out chopper that we see Dutch rolling by here, and then they have a Predator sculpture. So if you out there, listeners, have been there to El Aden and visited the old set of Predator, let us know. PredatorMinute@gmail.com. Can't wait.
Yeah, boy. So when we are able to quit our jobs and become professional movie by minute podcasters, we'll take our proceeds take our families there on a little vacation.
Exactly. So, yeah, my wife Sarah had an idea that we should film the last few minutes, or we should record the last few minutes there on the set. I think that would be super sweet. Yeah. Once we start selling t-shirts and stuff like that.
Predator Minute takes over the world.
Yeah.
Just wait, everybody.
Just wait. But then, yeah. Anyway, so let's see what happens next.
Okay, so cool water stunt there. So we get some guys running down the stairs. Lots of guys. Mm-hmm. And they're getting shot.
Yes. Shot from all over. And I think we're meant to attribute this to Dutch, who's seen,
I think so,
right away firing his M16 basically everywhere around the screen. Screen left, screen right behind him.
Yeah, it's just like cuts back to him firing and then a new guy dying, and then back to him firing and a new guy dying.
The guy pops out from the chopper, kind of like in a video game, or just like a video game where you're doing the shooting at the screen in the arcade cabinet, and someone pops up behind a building, like holding a hostage or shooting a rocket launcher at you, and he just goes right down. Just like a sack of sugar.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't aim his gun at him or anything. He just runs out and is like, shoot me.
As if he's surprised. He doesn't quite know the plan. Like, oh,
right. What's going to happen if I run out here? All right, so that's funny. He looks like maybe Moonbeam Part 2, that guy that gets shot.
Yeah, he does a little bit, but I think he's lacking the charisma and the wherewithal of Moonbeam.
Screen presence. He has the long hair with a bandana, but different guy.
Yeah.
All right, so he gets shot up. Dutch is just shooting everybody here. He walks forward. He fires. Shoots 3 guerrillas now. Bam, bam, bam. Takes them all out.
Including our boy Central American Mama Fratelli, Kampf.
What the hell are we doing here?
Trusted your old mother, boy. Throw in the 4-wheel drive and hold on to your hat.
Oh,
he's on the right there. He's totally going down. So he made it to the point of, hey, I'm aware of what's going on, but then he just took a bunch of gunfire.
He's also wearing a red ascot.
He is wearing a red ascot. So it's like this team kills this red ascot, I think 5 times in this minute, maybe. It just kind of goes person to person, and then I don't know.
Part of the uniform. He decided to include a little beret for some flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys, they're seemingly just standing the 3 wide next to each other firing. I don't know why they can't hit anything, but Dutch just looks at him and lifts up his gun and takes all 3 of them out.
Yeah, and I can't help but think that when he's shooting these guys in slow motion, I have a hunch that at least these 2 guys doing the death wobble are the same ones that we saw, I think, 2 times already previously, shot by Dutch and then shot by Dylan later on. I think they're the same. It's the same shot they're using, where if they lingered, then you'd say, oh, wow, I know exactly where that is. And that was actually filmed on the other side of the flaming chopper, I believe, when it was originally filmed.
This shot of Dutch just walking in front of this flaming helicopter is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Camera just moves with him. The helicopter's on fire behind him. He's just shooting from his hip.
Yeah, not aiming. There's no iron sights going on. There's
no.
He's kind of jerks the gun when he fires it. I notice he doesn't. It's almost like he's kind of like pushing dirt with a mop or something like that, or with the broom, just kind of really shoving it because just needs to clean that area.
Yeah, just real exaggerated. Bam, bam, bam.
And at second 25, I don't know if you noticed this, right before it changes from Dutch walking in front of the chopper, there is someone ducking behind the tail piece.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing it right now. I did not notice that before. It is super fast.
Yeah, I don't know who that's supposed to be. Maybe Dylan? I don't know.
Maybe just a stunt guy accidentally snuck into the frame.
Yeah. Maybe it's just some crew or something. It's moving something.
That's funny. Yeah, I did not notice that. Maybe he's just down there trying to repair the chopper. He's like, it's on fire. Someone help me. Change the oil.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Right. Where's the on-off switch for this thing?
I think you're looking at the wrong part of the chopper there.
Right. Boy, this does not look good.
No.
All right, so now we cut away from Dutch. Do you have anything else to add about that sequence there?
Sure. This is in the director commentary where John McTiernan is talking a little bit about Sven Ole Thorsen.
We who are about to die, salute you.
Just mentioning he's a good friend of Arnold. Arnold brought him onto the movie set and they gave him the role of the Russian officer. So that was neat to hear that, a little bit of positive talk. And he also starts talking about Blain and the minigun.
All painless is waiting.
Talking about how a man as big as Jesse Ventura is required just to aim the minigun, which Jesse Ventura apparently became really good at. And we're going to talk about that right now. Mac!
Yeah. Mac. So now Mac is running through the trees and kind of hunched over. Runs kind of funny.
He runs kind of funny. Yeah, I don't think Bill Duke, as for his as big and action-y oriented as this guy is, I don't think he's really noted as an action actor.
Yeah.
And it might even be a stuntman running. We don't really know.
Could be.
Because in the behind the scenes footage where Jesse Ventura is talking to a clear Bill Duke stand-in or stuntman, right? They nail that look-alike pretty well. So it might just be look-alike. That's kind of my hunch. And who's firing upon Mac right here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's Mac running from here?
Mac is running from a trail of gunfire left by what I can only describe as Red Baron Mark II.
Red Baron
up in a treetop perch.
He's got his mustache, his red ascot,
he does.
His funny little hat with his ear warmers.
Yep.
And he's firing away. He's like the most generic, like, guerrilla bad guy you could create, I think. And he's just firing away. And then Mac takes cover. Mac! Jumps down and takes cover kind of behind a rock, it looks like.
Yeah. And then he yells to Blain something along the lines of, get that mother, or get that post.
Get that mother.
Not really sure what he's yelling. It's clearly added later and not him yelling on the screen.
It's definitely ADR, which is weird because they like kind of cut it off. It's like half of a word. I think he's saying, get that mother.
Get that mother.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
But it's like they cut it off and it sounds, get that ma. Or Mo.
Yeah.
Get that mother.
I don't know. I wish they would have left it in and just had him be like, get that motherfucker.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. But he ducks down there. Get that mother.
Get that mother.
Yeah. And then who comes out from behind the trees?
Oh, mother effing Blain with the minigun, old Painless.
Yeah.
Old Painless is waiting.
And
he's like chawing on his tobacco too when he comes around the corner.
Yep. He does the classic minigun from this movie, at least, where he's firing for, 3 to 5 seconds into this one guy. Actually, I think it's our most minigunning so far. I think he's 6 seconds. So that's if you're going by the non-adjusted rate of fire, then that's about 1,000 rounds he just lit up Red Baron Mark II with. Which exploded that treetop perch, and our boy Red Baron just goes flying again.
Red Baron.
He does. Oh my God, he just unloads on that perch up there. It reminds me of, so recently I did another playthrough of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, sure.
On my old Xbox 360. And you know how in that game you can just grab a weapon and seemingly have unlimited ammo because you can always just buy more. And whenever you shoot things or or blow things up, it's all overkill. Like you'll just fire all of your ammo at something
right
in order to get it to explode. That's like what he's doing here. And he's like, I'll just shoot up here and whatever sticks.
right.
You know.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
surprised the tree doesn't break in half and fall down. But yeah, something up there must be flammable though, huh?
Yeah, it's
something.
I mean, it looks to me just like a little, I don't know, just like a little platform someone, nailed to the top of a tree.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
And so clearly, I mean, obviously they set up some pyrotechnics up there. I don't know if there'd be any practical reason why it would explode like that.
No.
But it makes for a pretty good effect.
No. And the people on the IMDb for firearms mentioned that these would have to be all of a sudden incendiary rounds, the rounds that flame on impact. And so far we haven't seen that, and we don't see it later on. So who knows? Maybe he locked and loaded some specialty rounds just for this moment.
That is a good explosion, though. And then our boy Red Baron goes flying.
Red Baron.
Yeah,
is that Red Baron?
It is Red Baron. Yeah, it's a fun little multi-shot stunt fall because he is blown from his perch. It cuts back to Blain, still firing the minigun at him. Like he's gone, Blain, stop.
Right.
And then
I'm still going.
It cuts to him falling just like through open space, and then it cuts to the palapa right over Ponchito and Hawkins' head, and the guy comes crashing to the roof. Hits the floor, and that must be the signal. Somehow it's like, oh, that's the signal, and Ponchito gives Hawkins this little reverse head nod to say, all right, let's move out, let's keep going.
I know. I love the idea that Hawkins and Ponchito are just kind of like standing in there having a conversation.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden this guy just falls through the roof. And they just kind of look over like, oh, yep, no big deal. Right. And they go about their business. Okay, let's go.
And that is a very creative stunt because that's two different falls. One fall from the tree where in the behind the scenes you can see him falling from the tree onto a big air pad. I forget what they're called, but there's these huge air balloons or whatever.
Okay, step out on the platform. He said no.
Billy, stand up, get ready.
Not air mattress. And then, right, the second part of the stunt is someone clearly crashing through this palapa roof and falling, what do you think, like 20 feet maybe?
It's pretty high.
Right on the ground. It's like, it must be another air pad in their employ right there.
Yep, and he does a nice kind of falls, like his back comes through the roof, and he does this little sort of sideways, almost backwards turn. Bam, lands on his side. Pretty good.
Yeah, you want to talk about who the Red Baron is played by here?
Red Baron.
Yeah, you did a little research on this, I see.
I did, because he is one of our basically Hall of Fame uncredited players for this film. And when I say uncredited, I'm talking 4, 5, 6 different actors who are uncredited. We've already talked about Steve Boyum, the hostage who's executed by the Russian, who goes, "Fuck you," and then Sven blows him away, shoots him in the head.
Fuck you.
We've talked about Henry Kenji, the gorilla blowing up in the Willie's Jeep. We've talked about Sven Ole Thorsen, the Russian officer. And there are a couple more we can talk about later, but this is the guerrilla soldier shot down from tree. Again, uncredited. This is William H. Burton Jr., or I've seen him called also Billy Burton.
Billy Burton.
And I
like that.
I think they call him Billy or Bill in the behind the scenes when Craig Baxley is talking to him, say, "Hey, you okay, Billy?" And you can see him kind of climbing these little rickety stairs onto this rickety platform. And even Billy Burton, this seasoned stuntman, is looking a little bit nervous.
Okay, step out on the platform. He said no.
Billy, stand up, get ready.
Yeah, but then they blow him from that treetop, and he falls gloriously onto this air pad. It's a really neat stunt.
Nice.
But yeah.
Well, he's got quite the list of credits to his name. Stunts he's done for different movies and shows.
Yeah, this is just kind of along with the along this motif for this movie of having these top crew and cast playing these parts and putting together everything behind the scenes, from music to special effects to sound effects to stunts. They've had some really awesome stunts so far, talking about Henry Kinsey, Craig Baxley, and now William H. Burton Jr., Billy Burton. Yeah, so he's been in a ton of stuff. He's worked as a second unit director, a la Craig Baxley, on a few things such as Dick Tracy, Hard Target, Face Off, Good Burger.
Face Off.
I'm going to take his face off.
I'd like to take his face off.
X-Files.
Troy.
Mission Impossible 2, Collateral Damage, which is another Arnold film. But that's not his bread and butter. His bread and butter is the stunt world, which he has 126 films credited to him.
That's wild.
Yeah. And a ton of stuff you've heard of. I don't know. Do you want to go down the list? And
I'll rattle some
you
off.
You can rattle
here.
some
I'm
off.
Looking at your list, it's pretty great. If you like genre movies from the 80s, you'll love this list. Smokey and the Bandit 2, Body Heat, Octopussy, National Lampoon's Vacation, Romancing the Stone, To Live and Die in L.A.
Yeah, Michael Mann, right?
Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop 2, Action Jackson.
There it is again.
Action Jackson. That's hard to say. But there's a little more Carl Weathers for you. Christmas Vacation, Dick Tracy, Days of Thunder, Die Hard 2, Predator 2. Yep. This list keeps on going.
Yeah.
The Doors, Patriot Games, Bodyguard, Nowhere to Run, Last Action Hero. One of my favorite horror movies is on here, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm-hmm. I knew it was one of your favorites. Yeah, Bad Boys, Waterworld, Black Sheep, The Phantom, Eraser, Escape from L.A. To my count, I think that's 7 sequels already he's been stunting in. Star Trek, First Contact, Dante's Peak, Grosse Point Blank, Batman and Robin, Godzilla 1998, Practical Magic, and I bring that up because that's one of my wife's guilty pleasure movies. It's, I believe, filmed up here in the San Juan Islands.
Oh, no
kidding. And I'm trying to imagine the stunts that happen in that movie. Not a ton. What's that, Sarah? Oh, there you go. It's the scene in Practical Magic where the guy is hit by a fruit basket going down the street, and that's the inciting incident for the whole movie, really. Yeah.
Once again, we have the situation where it seems like, except for our first couple movies on the list, most of these movies were made after Predator.
Yes.
And in some ways, I can't help but think that Predator and Arnold and McTiernan kind of helped to push this guy's career in the right direction.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Especially, I would say, in the stunt world. I bet a lot of people looked at this movie and thought, "Oh, this is, at least this middle section here, this is a great movie for stunt work," because you had the pro Craig Baxley on here, you had stunt driver extraordinaire Henry Kinsey, and from all the commentary and behind the scenes work, everybody's lauding the stunt work and that nobody was hurt, nobody was injured. And I think that is probably high up on the list of things that people look for in excellent stunt work in a movie. Is anybody hurt? Is anybody trying to sue the movie producers for a career-ending injury?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and last couple things I'll talk about is Billy Burton won the 2001 Taurus Award at the World Stunt Awards. Hey, didn't know you knew that. Now you know. For the best stunt coordinator and or second unit director for Mission Impossible 2. And then it goes into the details about what scene it's talking about, which is hilarious to me to describe a stunt scene in a movie. But I'm just going to shorten it to say it's the scene in Mission Impossible 2 with the air cannon and double motorcycle chase. And when they say air cannon, I believe they're talking about just the move a vehicle makes when they're launching it through the air, either over a camera or in front of a camera. They're just calling it the air cannon.
Is that the John Woo one?
Yeah, that's the John Woo one. That's the black sheep, as it were, of the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah, most people don't like that one very much.
Yeah, I don't care for the story, but the stunt work is... It's
good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I honestly, I think I may have seen it back when it came out, but that's all I got on MI2.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool though. Good for him.
Yeah. I would say the other thing I noticed in looking at stunt work is that it seems to be really common, at least in the 3 big stunt people we've talked about this film, to hand down or inherit stunt skills from your family, because Billy Burton Jr. His father, William Burton Sr., was a big stunt man and stunt coordinator. We talked about Henry Kinsey. He has a son, Henry Kinsey Jr., who is big in the world of stunts. And Craig Baxley, the stunt coordinator and second unit director for this film, his son, Craig Baxley Jr., is also a noted stuntman. So I don't know. What do you take from that, Jeff? Why do you think stunting would like stay in the family so much?
Well, there's got to be a physical aspect to it. You know, like if you are a stunt man or stunt woman, you're probably pretty physically able. You're fit. And, you know, when you have a kiddo, those genes might get passed along. So it would make sense that if you are kind of a big, physical, strong person, that your kid would probably grow up to be something similar. And then, you know, just passing down the trade. There's probably a lot of tricks and maneuvers and things that stunt men and women know how to do, but it's kind of contained within the business. Yeah, I mean, that'd be my best guess if you're just around that growing up. I mean, what kid wouldn't want to go to a movie set and see their dad?
I was just thinking that, yeah.
You know, do an awesome stunt, and you would be inspired to want to do the same thing, you know?
Yeah, because it's all pretend, and kids love pretend. Just ask my 3-year-old and just, Dada, let's pretend this, pretend that. I'm like, can we not? Can we just build something out of Legos?
Yeah. When I would go to the office with my mom, I would watch her do paperwork for an insurance company. It was not that inspiring.
Right. But yeah, doing the play acting and then just kind of being launched through the air and having the pretend machine guns. Yeah, I could see that being attractive to a kid. I would do that.
All right. So what was his name? Billy
Burton.
Billy Burton.
Jr.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Billy Burton. All right. So should we jump into the last kind of section of this minute here?
Let's do it. What happens next?
Oh, well, more people die.
More people die, yeah. And more people are firing from a gun nest.
Yeah.
This time at Billy. And who's one of our attackers here from the gun nest?
Oh, look at that. It's the Red Baron.
Red Baron.
It's the infamous Red Baron.
Red Baron.
And they pop up, and there's like 3 of them up there in a position above, and they still can't hit any of our guys. And who ultimately takes him out?
Well, Billy does, and it appears that when they're firing at first, I think they're firing at Hawkins and Ponchito. So when Billy throws his grenade at them from his position, he's actually throwing it from their side. He's looking at Yellow Bandana's side as he throws the grenade.
You're right. I didn't notice that before, but you're right. He comes in on the flank or whatever and takes him out.
Yeah, and just the appearance of Red Baron tells you right away, like,
Red Baron,
you should not be in that gun nest with that guy. Like, oh crap, are we going to be flying through the air on a ramp, or what is it called, a springboard?
Yeah. It's so funny. He keeps on dying, and then he just pops up in like 2 seconds later in the next scene. It's can we not kill this guy?
Unkillable Billy. Yeah, Billy. Oh, I love it. Yeah, and this is the mildest of the 3 stunts we see that we see when people are. I mean, all the same, people are still
pretty great.
Yeah, people are being launched through the air, and this is one of those examples when I was talking about earlier about not lingering on a shot very long. It would have been cool to see them just kind of complete their fall or just launch into something new, because there's just so much good body flying through explosions.
Yeah, they do cut away really fast. You're right. Like before it's even really over, they cut away before we see the guys land. But man, they do fly out there. Again, the pyrotechnics are awesome. Yeah. The guys are kind of on fire as they're flying off the perch.
They really are. And
Billy just turns around and walks away before they even land too. He's like, I'm out.
Yeah, he's not even looking at the explosion. He's like, job's done here. I'm moving on to the next.
All right, so then who is this running into the palapa after this? Is that Mac? It's really hard to tell.
I'm thinking it's Mac. I'm just totally theorizing here because
it is too.
It looks to have body type of Mac, and Billy's not even in the same position, or he's not even in the same whereabouts. It looks like in the next time we see him in half a second. But Mac dives behind some beautifully exploding boxes. Apparently, boxes just full of squibs, because those boxes go up along with the pottery shot of like these shards just flying everywhere.
everywhere. I do love this quick shot though, because as he's running, like it's one of those classic, he's running and then the bullets are hitting things around him as he's running. And so you get this kind of line of stuff that explodes from left to right. Bam, 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 bam. And then those boxes are like kind of the cap. Kabow!
Cap!
Blow up. I don't know. Cap! I don't know what's in there. It looks like hay or straw or something.
Just a bunch of sawdust or something, yeah.
Yeah, sawdust, yeah. So those explode, but we are to assume that he makes it past. Mm-hmm. And then we get a quick cut back to
Billy. Yeah, he's he's looking one way towards the camera, and then he turns around, quickly takes out two guerrillas who seemingly just kind of walk in front of his line of fire.
and this will be a nice place,
because the one guy, he's coming in through a door. When I can kind of defend him there. Say, yeah, he was like running in through a door. Apparently that door, if I freeze frame, it looks like there's a map on that on that door before Billy lays into him, and things fly up in squibs, and there's fuel tanks literally behind the guy as Billy fires.
I know. He's like, I know what'll be a good idea. I'm gonna go hide next to this barrel of fuel.
Yes. And then it looks like another red ascot, Red Baron laden guy.
Oh yeah,
comes in, but I don't think that's Red Baron. I think that's someone wearing all the same gear though as the Red Baron. Red Baron, because this guy actually looks Central American compared to Red Baron, who just looks kind of like a chubby white guy.
Yeah, and again, he just walks in just kind of walks into the frame, looking the wrong direction.
Yeah, he's looking at the guy who's being shot up. This red ascot.
Billy just takes him out.
Just boom, 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 boom. And then the squibs are a little bit mistimed, so as Billy turns away after firing upon this guy, his chest explodes. One last squib. I don't know. Maybe it's like the radio behind him exploding. But.
Right. Oh, yeah. I missed that the first time through. You're right. He turns around, the firing's all done, and then his chest explodes later. Mm-hmm. That's great. And then, so to round it out, then the camera kind of cuts away, and we see Billy coming up some stairs or some steps.
Again, this is the Palapa. I think I'm just kind of guessing from the first part of the minute, making the reappearance after they ran down the stairs. I think they just redressed the set and had this big opening that people could fire into, and starts the next minute off with some.
Yeah, it's like a big warehouse-sized Palapa.
Yeah, so you have that wide shot of Billy just basically firing indiscriminately down into this large Palapa, like towards the camera.
He is. Exactly. He's just sort of shooting.
Yeah.
And then that brings the minute to a close right there. So we'll pick things up with Billy firing from the top of his perch down onto the Palapa.
Yeah, just right as the minute closes too, we're hearing Alan Silvestri's Predator theme, the main theme from Predator, kick in.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw this note, but when I was doing research on the score, people actually refer to this as not the theme of the alien Predator, but the theme of the team of commandos that Dutch is leading, which makes sense to me because when we first hear it, we see their chopper landing on the beach in minute 2, I believe. That's where we hear that theme first played. And I don't believe, we'll have to keep an ear open, but I don't believe you hear that theme while the Predator's on screen. I think the Predator has its own theme that we're going to have to listen for later on.
And he gets the lead up to the Predators, of course, the drums.
Yes. Drums, please.
Drums, please.
So good.
So good.
Awesome. All right. So where is our kill count here, John? I lost track. A lot of people die in this minute, just like the last minute.
So up to this minute, we had 54 deaths on screen or off screen implied. Wow. And then in this minute alone, we have another bunch. We have 19 this minute, bringing our total so far up to, we have 20 is it 20?
17 of those was the Red Baron.
Yeah, that's a good point. How many? There's at least 3 Red Barons and a Red Baron lookalike. Red Baron. And if we look back at earlier scenes from the camp, maybe we can catch a little glimpse of Red Baron exploding through the air again. But I think we're at 20 this minute. 2 by Ponchito's grenade, including Red Baron. 12 by Dutch's M16, including Central American Mama Fratelli.
Trusted your old mother, boy. Throw it in the 4-wheel drive and hold on to your hat.
No.
One by Blain Minigun. This would be Red Baron 2 in this minute.
Red Baron.
He definitely took the most bullets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the 3 Red Barons in this minute, he could take the most bullets.
He got all the bullets. He got more bullets than all the other Red Barons combined.
Yes. Something around 1,000 bullets. Right. Let's see. 3 by Billy's Grenade, including Red Baron 3.
Red Baron.
And then 2 by Billy's M16, including the Red Baron lookalike.
Red Baron.
So, yeah, that is... Oof.
Yeah, death count is skyrocketing. So that's a total of 74 or 75?
74, I believe.
74. Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So almost at triple digits. I don't remember looking ahead if we're ever hitting triple digits, but I believe we come really, really, really close because I think we end the guerrilla camp shootout or mop up or route or behind the woodshed beating. We end that around 90, I think.
And then the crew the Predator will do his work. So get very close. You're right.
Yeah. But with the minutes discussion behind us, looking ahead to what people can listen to or wear or watch or experience, what do you have in the old recommend chamber for us?
Yeah. All right. Well, I got at least one thing here, maybe 2. I don't know if this is a recommend, but if you're a completist when it comes to 80s action movies, you've probably already seen this, or you're going to see it. I've seen a lot of 80s action movies. I love action movies of the period, particularly from the 80s.
Sure.
But there was one that, for some reason, I just hadn't seen over the years. I'd never seen it before. So I finally decided to rectify that a couple nights ago.
Yeah?
And I sat down and I watched the Sylvester Stallone vehicle,
Cobra. Cobra!
And that movie is bonkers.
Stallone is a cop called Cobra.
It is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I don't even... I mean, if you've seen Cobra, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. It's such a vanity project for Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some really fun action sequences and stunts and stuff in it, but some of the choices make zero sense. About 20 minutes in, it just kind of cuts to this montage / music video that does not advance the plot whatsoever and has a whole bunch of imagery that there's a bunch of like scantily clad models at a photo shoot standing in front of robots. I shit you not. Like, what?
Wow.
Is that? I don't know. Have you ever seen Cobra?
It's been a long time.
It is crazy, dude. I wish that I had watched it with like a group of people and like a 12-pack of beer.
Right.
I watched it by myself when my family had gone to bed, and it was one I've been wanting to catch up on. And I mean, I had a good time. It cracked. I was laughing as much as I was enjoying the stunts and whatnot because it's just so bonkers. But so I recommend it as a funny kind of Stallone relic. I think this is when he was kind of coming off of, maybe I'm trying to think the timeline here. He was kind of at the peak of his 80s fame. I think he was a few Rocky sequels in. And I don't know the history of Cobra, so I don't want to sound stupid, but I think he may have written it himself and funded a good amount of it himself.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and it says screenplay by Sylvester Stallone, music by Sylvester LeVay. Almost.
So I had fun with it. It is a bonkers 80s action movie that really does not make any sense at times, but it's fun. So yeah, check out Cobra if you haven't seen it in a long time, or if you've never seen it, get some friends together and grab a bunch of beer and then watch it.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
I think is that the one with the line he says, "Your French fries are drowning."
You have a life preserver?
What?
Your French fries drowning now.
Yes. Yeah. So much weird random stuff. There's this one shot of him in a restaurant where he picks up this giant like fake hamburger and like makes, I can't remember what he says, but he makes a joke with it to the love interest.
No, we got you. It's a large family, man.
Oh my god. In the first 5 minutes, he grabs a piece of pizza and cuts it using a pair of scissors.
What?
And then doesn't make any sense. It's like there's no reason for it. He just cuts the slice in half and then eats half of the slice. I don't know why.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone. That's why.
So Cobra. That's all I got. I'll just recommend Cobra today. It's a masterpiece. All right.
Holy moly, that's too good. Lately, I've been wearing these new shoes, the Adidas Ultra Boost shoes. I don't know if you're much of a sneakerhead or shoe collector. I'm not really, but I watched quite a few sneaker collecting videos since watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I was just kind of obsessed a little bit with shoes for a short time, and then a lot of people were mentioning for comfort level, which is one of the main reasons I wear shoes. Everybody's talking about this model that's been out for a few years called the Ultra Boost, and I picked up a pair, and I picked up another pair, and another, and now I'm up to 5 pairs of Ultra Boost. Yeah, and I must say they're really comfortable. If you're going to check them out just to see how they feel, I would say don't pay the $180 price tag full retail. Just go to places like eBay or goat.com, which is a specialty site just for buying and selling shoes. You can find them well under retail price, which is what I did, and then decided I liked my first pair and bought a few more pairs for again, those kind of discounted prices. But yeah, total recommend just wearing them around, running them. Ultra Boost, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the cheapest pair I found was like $25 on goat.com.
Nice.
Super comfortable stuff to work out and walk around in.
Always looking for comfortable sneaks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check them out. Gosh, well, this is the part of the show where we ask, where can people find you? And if we had a guest, we'd ask them. We'd kind of laugh and joke around about their usernames and such, but we're not going to do that because we don't have a guest. We'll have a guest next minute. I promise.
Nice.
But where can people find you, Jeff?
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter. Capital K, Carl _ capital H Hungus 314.
My name is Carl Been Expert.
I was live tweeting Cobra a little bit the other night when I watched it. Not a ton. I think I fired off like 4 or 5 tweets, but that was kind of fun. And I think I'm going to try to do that a little bit more. I haven't used Twitter a whole lot, but when I have used it to like live tweet with other people during a movie, that's the most fun I've had. So I'd love to kind of find some time to do that some more. So anyway, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. You can find me.
Awesome. And we are also on Facebook as a podcast. You can find us at Predator Minute Podcast. We're on Twitter at Predator Minute. You can email us any fun stunts you've done in movies or TV or just kind of around the backyard just for fun, just launching into, I don't know, a couple mattresses off your bike or something like that. Email us at predatorminute@gmail.com. And I'm excited to announce that Jeff and I are going to be analyzing 5 minutes of the movie Into the Night. Into the Night just took on, or the Movies by Minute community just took on this project of having different Movies by Minute hosts take on 5-minute segments of this 1985 romantic comedy thriller movie Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. And we're taking on minutes 41 through 45.
Yeah, that should be fun. I'm excited to do that. I should catch up with that movie and start preparing probably.
Yeah, probably.
But I'm excited. That's a cool project. I haven't listened to any of the minutes yet. I know they've just started to be released.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of kind of hive minding this project together. Pretty cool.
Yeah, if you have some love for Into the Night, check it out. Also, if you just want to see any other movies that are broken down in the minute-by-minute format, check out moviesbyminutes.com. And I think we'll wrap up things there for Predator Minute. I've been Jon Zabriskie.
And I'm Jeff Glover.
And until next minute...
Whoa! I can't wait. Stick around.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Stick around.
Back here, you crybaby! Come on, baby! Gotta right here, mommy! We're gonna get you, little crybaby. Hey, crybaby!
Introducing Red Baron pouches. All new stuffed sandwiches you'll want to run home to.
Hey, crybaby! Mouth crybaby, are we gonna have to?
Bring the Baron home. New Red Baron pouches.